Hi everybody, it's John here. I'm doing a video for this week. I figured I'd do a little bit of an update on my vegetable garden, especially seeing I'm using a new method this year called intensive gardening. Basically, if you know anything about different vegetable gardens, there was a method kind of like this that started in the 80s called square foot gardening. And basically the principle behind that was to plant, well, most plants by the square foot, and depending on how much space they needed, you would plant however many plants per square foot. And that was supposed to, basically make sure that you grew the most amount of produce in the least amount of space with the least amount of effort, basically. But I've tried that in the past, and unfortunately, it doesn't really work, if you ask me. Maybe someday I'll try it again. Maybe I did something wrong, but for me, it didn't really work, so I figured I'd try this, seeing it's similar, but a little bit different. Basically, the principles behind this, intensive gardening, or intensive planting, is that you plant plants close enough that they grow right up against each other, but far enough away that they're not going to crowd each other. And in a manner that looks natural, or basically as natural as a bunch of different vegetables can grow. As you can see, this probably looks pretty crowded and kind of like a jungle, and yeah, it is kind of like a jungle. Some benefits and drawbacks that I've already found out here is that if one of you or more of your crops decide to fail, like if you can see right there, that bare patch right there, used to be some red onions there, but they kind of died back, and that kind of left open a big old opening for the weeds. Of course, I'm going to be pulling those, but kind of leaves you open, because at this point in the year you really can't put anything in there until the fall, put some like turnips or something in there to replace them. But for right now, it's just kind of big open space, and that's going to let the weeds take over, as you can see. Another situation I'm finding is that more vigorous plants are kind of dwarfing the smaller plants. Like some of these peppers are getting tall and lanky because of these tomatoes here. Of course, as we all know, tomatoes are monsters in the garden. I just need to keep up on the pruning. If you're not right on top of that pruning, they will engulf everything else. And I need to do some more pruning on these big boys, because they are growing crazy. But, I mean, some good things is, frankly, I mean, in terms of vegetable gardens, it looks a lot prettier than most vegetable gardens I've ever seen. It really does look more natural than your average everyday vegetable garden. Another part of the method states that you, in and among the vegetables you interplant is flowers, like the marigolds and stuff. Not just for, beneficial insect attraction, but for pollination attraction. If you got some flowers already in there, that'll bring in the pollinators to pollinate not just the flowers, but also the fruit, like, the squash back here, which I need to tie up. they've also been growing crazy. Oh yeah, quick tip on squash and other climbing things like cucumbers and whatnot. As you can see, I've already, hopefully you can see this right there, that little knob right there. I've already pinched this back, but basically once your climbers, like your squash and your cucumbers and stuff like that, your melons, it doesn't matter if you're growing them up on a trellis like this or along the ground. Once they get to about 4 or 5 feet tall, you just want to pinch out that little growth tip, and that will focus more energy into flower and fruit production, which is obviously something you want. Well, basically that's it. There's some really great books out there describing this type of planting, including the previous method, square foot gardening. So I encourage you to go out and look for them. If you got any questions on which ones that I've been reading, to give you some ideas, just, email me or, whatever. But thanks for taking your time out of your day to watch this. As always, like and subscribe, and leave comments if you want. Leave some comments. Leave some suggestions on what you might want to see next. Feel free to email me with those too. Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Alright, I'm going to get out of here because New England's got some major heat wave action going on, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.